Well, raising a family in D.C., I mean, in the beginning it wasn't hard. You sent them to school, made sure they did what they had to do. You do what you had to do as a parent, and kept it moving. This is when they got a little older, you know.
Growing up in Southeast D.C., or growing up in D.C. period, gun violence or shooting is a norm. Sometimes you be kind of afraid that when you go to sleep, you don't hear the gunshots or you don't hear the police sirens.
Crime, drug use, high school dropout, pretty much anything that you can fit that is negative, or any negative stereotype that you can put in, are the things that our young men face in their communities. And what we're trying to do is pull them away from those negative things and give them some positive things to look forward to.
My name is Andre Webb. I'm 20, go to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. Decided to come to UMES because the Achievers program. I was part of the Achievers program cohort 2.
When I was in 11th grade, I started seeing commercials about college and stuff like that, but I didn't ever think of it until I was introduced to DC Achievers.
The College Success Foundation provides scholarships, mentoring, and academic enrichment for low-income kids who show high potential.
Well, education is a great liberator, and the College Success Foundation and what it is doing for kids is part of that liberation. It's opening doors to kids that otherwise would be closed.
When Andre heard about the College Success Foundation, I told him, well, you know, your sister went through the process, and that would be a good thing for you to do, you know what I'm saying? Since your sister went through it, you may see if you can get it. So then he introduced Raheem into the Hero program.
Raheem Jackson was a wonderful young man. He was a basketball star, which is true, but more important to me, he was more of a scholar.
I met Raheem through the Hero program. The teacher would ask, did anybody want to read? And nobody would want to read but him.
I mean, I always taught them when they were growing up, y'all already got 2 strikes against you. You're black and you're a male. So the only thing that you would have good that can come out of anything is your education. If you put everything into your education, you can go a lot further than what you think.
Raheem Jackson was an 11th grader at H.D. Woodson, where he played basketball and football. But just after 9 last night, someone decided to pull out a gun and, according to the teen's family, shoot him 11 times.
I got a phone call, and the person on the other end said, well, you need to get down the street. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, well, you need to hurry up and get down the street. Jumped in my vehicle and rode to my corner, and by the time I got there, I knew my son was dead. I knew he was.
From what I was told, he was just coming from the ice cream truck and decided to go in the house. He don't take the front door. He don't like taking the front door. So what he do is he just come around and walk up through the back. And I guess from what I was told, when he hit the top of the stairs, that's when they start shooting at him, and he laid right there. It's just crazy. I still can't believe that it really happened.
That night, I had to call Andre. That was the worst thing I ever had to do. Call him, my son, tell him his brother was dead, so he couldn't even talk.
At the time, I was thinking about nothing but revenge. I wanted to come home as soon as possible and basically get the person that got my brother.
The reason why I didn't want him to come home, because I didn't want it to result in anybody else getting killed. Raheem was gone. There was no bringing him back. If Andre going out to retaliate against somebody else, that means his future is destroyed. No, we had to have something different.
Our organization really gets involved with our students to the fact that we all feel like we are family.
I went in my room, I packed my clothes, and my friends were right there with me, and they were unpacking my clothes. And they were telling me, no, Andre, we refuse to let you throw your life away because of this tragedy.
It was 2009. My brother got killed, and the day I heard Andre's brother was killed, it was like it hit back home to me and my situation, and I wanted to be there for him, and I was determined that I was going to be there for him.
I think with Andre, the potential risk was him getting off track and getting him off focus from school. And the foundation, you know, spoke to him and said, you know, we need you to stay focused. Your ultimate goal is to finish up and graduate from college.
What they call a business plan, another term they use is guide. It enables the investors to know where you're trying to go. It also, more importantly, it enables you to know where you're trying to go.
Now look over your essays. You did pretty good. You talked about your current career goal, what you're going to do to help you get there. Young men have all these stereotypes put on them, especially the young men that we work with, that they're not going to graduate from high school, that they're going to end up in jail, or that they're going to end up dead. And what this program does is we need to focus on these young men and let them know there are other things to do.
Today we have two special guests. They both are current achievers. Andre Webb, give him a round of applause, please. And William Artis.
I just lost my brother in April. He really meant a lot. He still means a lot. I believe that he's still breathing and living today. But achievers have really comforted my family. Like, they knew everything. They was always there, called me, make sure I was okay, make sure everything was straight. Miss Gray always talked to me over the summertime, wanted to know how my family was doing, how my mother was doing. Everybody, like, it's just a family, like a family outside of a family. And now that y'all a part of this family, y'all gotta feel the same way. Like, talk to anybody, any of these people. Like, you don't have to have no cut cards. You can just tell them how you feel. You know, just basically just tell them everything. And I'm guarantee you, they might give you some advice that you don't want to hear, but it's some advice that you need to hear. Because when I had lost my home, my advice was to stay in school, not to come home and do what I was thinking. Because if I would have done what I was thinking, I wouldn't have been here.
When talking to Andre and William, they both shared a common motivation. Like, since their brothers died, they felt like it was all on them to make their life better and strive to get outside of DC and away from all the violence and the gangs and actually do something better with their lives.
Going back and giving advice is more important to me now, to the younger community or the younger generation, because I know that Raheem would have done the same.
What's really remarkable about Andre's story is this sense that he has created a family now who is focused on college going, not as an individual member of the family, but the entire family. And this not only impacts his personal family, it spreads throughout this community. Neighbors would say, his friends will say, well, if Andre can do it, I can do it too.
I heard about the College Success Foundation as a council member and wanted to do what I could to be able to ensure that our young people knew of the resources that were available to them, especially since the foundation is focusing on the Eastern End, wards 7 and 8, where so many of our young people drop out of school, where so many of our young people don't go on to college. They're just as bright as anybody else in the city. Our job is to level the playing field and make sure they have the resources to be able to go on and pursue college if that's what they want to do. And that's precisely what the College Success Foundation is doing, making those resources available to them.